everybody. I've been doing a lot of research on how to improve my maple sap lines. So in the past years, I've always done a gravity fed. Here on the property, we have a pretty nice slope. It goes down about 15 feet from the highest point down to the bottom. So over the past few years, I just let all the sap run down the lines naturally into these IBC totes here that I have that are food grade. This year I wanted to try something a little different, so I was doing some research on how to make a vacuum pump that can be used out in the woods, no solar panels, just something very simple. I got no power out here. I'm about 440s deep into the woods. So what I have this year is I have 150 taps in the trees. There's probably about 1,500 feet of line throughout the whole entire woods. So I was just doing some research. I found a couple really nice videos. People are using the SureFlow 4008, which seems like a really nice, it's basically a camper water pump. I actually had one laying in the garage. My stepdad did, so he told me I could just have it. It's not a SureFlow, but it's a similar brand. It works just as good from what I can tell so far. I didn't get super crazy with this build yet because I'm still in the testing stages to see how it works. I'm going to try it for a few days, and if everything works great, I'm going to continue on. So let me show you how that works. All right, so you can see here, I got a C-Flow pump. It's not the SureFlow, but basically I have two lines coming through, so I have about 75 taps on each line roughly. I think this line over here actually has more. I think it's actually closer to 80 on it, but it doesn't really matter because once the lines fill up with vacuum, it's all good. So a lot of people are using, like quick couplers or like the Shark Bites or the Aquaflow couplings. They run usually about $3 to $6 depending on which brand and which style you get. So I just decided to use just one of my maple teas that I had, and just reduce it down to a 5/16. It's all 5/16 line I'm using here. So I just have it down to a 5/16 bib that goes down to a 3/8, 3/8 to a. This is a 3/8 to a half here into the pump. It just has a simple screen on it. Eventually I want to put a pressure gauge down here so I can see how much pressure I'm pulling, or vacuum gauge I mean. And then right here is just my flow going into my IBC tote. And then simply I just have a battery. It's just an marine battery. It's just something I'm just going to take in every night into the house, make sure it's charged up. I come back out every single morning, check on the totes, see my sap level, and then I'm just going to throw the battery on, turn the pump on, let it run through the day. So it's a pretty basic system, nothing too crazy. It's just testing it right now. I do have an inline fuse and a switch here. Everything's just loose wired still because it's just beta testing right now. And if this works good, I'm going to add a couple more components to it, probably like a timer when I can turn on. I might get a solar panel eventually, but for right now it's just going to be like this. So as you can see here, I got a pretty nice flow going. So that's about 150 taps right there it's pulling from, so it's doing pretty good. I like that flow. I can get behind that. If I lift it up, it backflows, so I gotta keep it down low. Should probably move it over a little bit. There you go. So yeah, all in all, this build right here cost me about $50 to build it. $10 for the tote, a couple dollars in each one of the fittings I have. Gas time. So it was nothing too crazy. It's just a very simple, quick build. I already had the pump. So if you buy a pump, that usually ranges from $60 to $100. You can buy a little bit bigger pump that's a little bit more, depending where you buy it from also. Hopefully this pump will work for me. Like I said, this is all just a test for me right now. We're going to see how it goes. So if you found value, drop a comment. If you had some helpful tips, drop a comment. If you like the videos, like it, share it, subscribe. I'm planning on coming with some more content here in the near future. Just about my maple operation. Hopefully they're helpful tips for someone starting out, or even someone that's been doing it for a while. I have a lot of friends that are in the maple syrup, so they gave me a lot of help over the years, setting up the lines and stuff like that. So it's pretty good flow here what I have. Hopefully it all works out great, and hopefully this pump system works. So stay tuned.